Welcome back to Refrain Chord. So after all that exposition, let's... Oh my god, these conversations again. Hey there, friend. Can I ask you something? My son's been acting really selfish. What do you think I should do?
Eat fruit.
Oh, what do you mean by selfish? He sleeps on park benches. He participates in ramen eating challenges and loses. Oh my god, the horror! It's becoming a real problem.
Wrong with that boy?
Wow, that sounds awful. Allow me to never and allow this plot thread to go nowhere. Seriously, it's just like in the original game. These conversations go nowhere.
What was up with the cut to black and fade of music? Have we met before? I feel like I've seen your face before.
Haha! Well, there's nobody quite as handsome as me. Where was it? Sorry.
Right! You're that Dine and Dasher! You ate a ton of noodles from the buffet without paying! You're like, oh, I'm gonna revive the goddess to make a fortune! Then I'll pay you back, promise! Yeah, I never forget a face!
And once again, that got... So yeah, eventually I'm going to stop reading these like I did last time, because though the conversations in the Fountain Plaza always go absolutely nowhere. Ah, handsome, I got some juicy Fury info. Wanna buy it?
I've got infinite money, so
wow,
yeah, why
just
not?
100 gold? That's a steal.
Thank you.
What you mean?
Anyway, I heard they found a Fury at the subterranean tower. Lots of traps there, so be careful.
We already went there. Also, Dweebs, don't you mean the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth TM?
Remember, Tail, all side quests are all about repeating the same dungeons you've done before. Because we need to
Oh, I thought it was story related.
No, it's not. The lowest side missions are never story related. Even in the original game, they weren't.
Originally, the side quests were a means to get her as your party member in certain routes,
Also,
whereas other routes, they actually added her automatically.
That woman looked like an older Bernadetta from the Fire Emblem 3 houses.
Yeah, it's just a battle, so I'm not gonna bother.
Being voiced by Christina V certainly helped Lola's case as arguably the best character in that game.
Mm-hmm. And there you go, Tomoe's shop. You can buy, you can sell, but you can't synthesize yet because that will unlock later.
Is her sister also back for this
Momoe?
game?
No.
Just one of the twins, who I'm pretty sure used the exact same sprite.
Alright. More.
Yeah, let's find out about that.
Building up a Fury collection.
Inhumane! The things she does to the people she brainwashes, having them wash her clothes or mow her lawn.
How could she?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be just funny if she was doing it for world peace? She's one of those bad guys.
Unintentional extremist.
Not the worst idea.
ドルファのことですわね。もしグラースがそのドルファの人たちと手を組んでしまったら、大量のフューリーを手にするのでは。
And that's no good.
洗脳ならば相手にするのはグラース個人の思惑だけでいいのですが、お互いの利害が一致し手を組んだ場合は、ドルファの人たちの思惑も絡み合い、どういう事態になるのかわかりませんから。
I guess so. I mean,
where's the lie?
not just that. Yeah, at least Mariana is part of Dorfa. Yeah, also Zenk and Zagi. So that means she already made contact with them.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that Dorfa were all in on that plan, which, okay, to be fair, it was working up until Fleur pretty much threw a wrench into it.
Also, more like, how did they convince Zenke to stay put for a while?
Beats the hell out of me.
I guess,
yeah, that's the thing, Tail. For some reason, as you're going to see, in this game, Zenke is much more mellowed out compared to how he was in the original game.
I mean, his dialogue seems to still be on point, but sure.
I guess Dorfa are keeping a tighter leash on him in this one.
Always look. Oh, sorry, I said Aaron's voice. Always look on the
Bright side of life.
Also, let me guess, Fleur's another romance option, isn't she?
Kinda, but not really.
More importantly, who cares?
But remember, like Pedro mentioned, there are like several different romance options.
Well, in this one, there's only 3. Tiara, Aaron, and Fleur.
Huh. So they cut out a lot of the romances too. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I don't really care that much, but I
Oh, Joe, don't you
find
want to
it
return to have the return of the romance with Noe?
Okay. Props to SCWRM. It did give you both female and male love interest. You know,
The thing though is that the one of Noe is treated as a joke.
Yeah.
I didn't mention much because it was completely plastered by that point, but still.
Although, to give it credit, the one with Sherman was more taken seriously.
And they
But
go.
yeah, no.
Go on.
Noe's like,
それにグラースやドルファとも力を合わせて戦うことができますし
okay.
うちのチームは来るもの拒まず去るもの地獄の果てまで追いかけ
He's not lying. Like,
I'll
we've
chase
added
you to
some...
the end of
俺様をリーダーとして認め言うことも素直に聞くのが上手
Shocker!
You can't escape me!
I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Jesus.
God bless Christopher Daniel Barnes.
じゃあ早速
And the 200%
I still have to. I still have to watch.
Spider-Man.
Did anybody ever actually ask him at a con what did the voice director tell him on that day? Because I really would love to hear from him. What was it like in that particular recording session? What did the voice director tell him exactly?
I wonder.
Sound like you're really sound like someone just told you your mom was a ham sandwich or something.
Harley, as long as he's just looking respectfully and not raising your dirty hands.
Okay, you know, Pedro does have a point though. Like, sure, they hint at some of the more skeevy actions, but for the most part, characters have been more well-behaved in this game so far.
Don't expect miracles though. There's going to be the occasional moments where she slips back into her old habits.
Oh, true, yeah, the occasional moments, but like you mentioned, it does seem like this game is a lot more sanitized in comparison
Because
to
Fango
the
Nichan.
original.
It is Jova, but at the same time, it also comes at the cost of they don't replace it with anything in place of it. As a result, the game has even less personality than the original game did.
Yeah, that old trapping. In making it better...
Yes, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you remove the bad stuff, but how about replacing it with putting good things in its place instead of just removing it? You know?
I get what you mean. It's like when you take something that's legendarily bad and just make it like decent. Like at that point, then it loses a lot of what made it popular. Okay, to give it credit, I know that Fair Prince of Advent Dark Force apparently had its fair share of legit fans, so I won't act like, you know, it was all bad. And like we mentioned, the gameplay was good, but, well, let's not forget, this game completely changes up the gameplay, so,
Yeah.
if you...
Not to mention, it takes away the dungeons. Like you'd think they would at the very least reuse the same dungeons, copy pasted from the original game, but not even that. Like they just removed dungeons altogether from this game.
Oh, the Fatamifu Plains. If I recall correctly, that's...
No, the Fatamifu Plains are actually a new location, they're a slight recolor of the Soul Plains, basically. Dun 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 dun.
You know what's ironic, Pedro? I actually was thinking of a Soul Plains, but I sort of gaslit myself into thinking that
Hi,
was the
Paiga.
Fatamifu
In what
Plains.
ways are you gonna get shamed in this game?
Not much, Tail. Paiga is just kind of here. He doesn't even have a boss battle or anything.
Well, I mean, to give Paiga credit, he did come out on top and
I
pretty
still
much
wanted
most
him
of
to
the
be
routes.
playable in some fashion.
Sorry, Tail, but
agree.
I don't know what to tell you, Tail. Sorry.
Again, that is a missed opportunity.
There you go. See, Bernard is the vice president. There you go.
Yeah,
I was on to 2, so.
oh my god, he sounds even more like Sephiroth in the Japanese version.
And not as close as Toshuki Morikawa.
Fair enough. Dude,
Again.
Paiga has a point, actually. Why can't you do more with the power to brainwash people?
Because the writers realized, wait, that power would make the villains way too OP. So I need the heroes to somehow defeat the villains. So let's just not address this ever again.
Okay, I guess there'll be... I assume they'll mention later limitations to Glace's power.
Nope.
Well, okay, to be fair, it does seem like it would have worked if Fleur hadn't shown up, and we do know that Fleur can undo that. Also, Paiga has more of a backbone in this game, it seems.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why didn't you?
I forgot.
Does the Dorfer
I
president
need to
show
vent
up?
my
in this-
frustration by killing someone.
Oh, you want to hear something even better too? Hold on. Wait for it.
Oh no.
He's on the contact to feel good. Again, though, Paiga is more of a backbone given the sass he's throwing Zenke of all people's way. Smooth, Paiga. Smooth.
And now, behold, ladies and gentlemen, as Anagata.
President!
Oh no, never mind. I forgot. First is this guy, and there's Apollonius,
I
of course.
Apollonius.
And there's Anagata, and
There he
and this is the only time where his sprite shows up in the entire game. Bye, Anagata.
Hold on, wait.
He doesn't even
that's-
get killed.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, 2 times, but you get my point. He doesn't show up after this, basically.
Also, a side sprite. He does have a
No,
proper
that's the thing, Teo. After this scene, he disappears from the plot entirely. The game doesn't even tell you where he went. It's not like they even do the thing where maybe Bernard overtook the company or maybe after this cutscene, Teo, he just disappears from the game altogether.
Wait. I think I get what's going on. I think Glace is controlling the president, and that's why he's suddenly giving all that authority.
Okay, let me put it this way. If she is, the game doesn't tell us that. Because they even just had a conversation where we're not going to use the brain rushing powers anymore. They even said.
It's weird because he suddenly just grants out the authority like that.
Not to mention, I can tell you that Bernard is definitely not being brainwashed. I can tell you that much, at least.
No. I was talking about the president.
No, but, not that the game tells us, Jova. I'll tell you that much.
Fair enough.
Ha.
That being said, why are they only using the side sprite for the president? I know for sure he had a full-size sprite.
Yes, he did, but for some reason we don't use that.
I'm sure this will be no one of importance later in the plot.
Absolutely.
Okay, I understand that I understand that you're limited in how many sprites you can use for each character, but couldn't you come up with a better sprite for a better angry sprite for Glace instead of her having her awkwardly have her arm up like that?
You see, she used her armpit to block Zenke's blade.
Okay, but she uses that sprite in other situations too, and it's usually used as her angry. Not so much just angry. Like usually when she does something, especially when she sings. Okay, couldn't you come up with a better pose for her? Like, cause that pose looks even more awkward than Tiara's thing where she has her hand. That's the thing that Teo complained about in the original playthrough too. So.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
So who is mysterious hooded man?
Gee, I wonder who the mysterious hooded man could be.
Could be anyone. Yes, my plan may have failed, but we have backup plans.
Of course, it's like again the Resident Evil live action movies.
All according to my backup plan of the backup plan of the backup plan. Yes, we have the power.
Alright, I think this is where the scene ends, if I remember
You
correctly.
didn't even have him on a smiling pose while he's laughing, you lazy doofuses.
ファングたちの件ですが、ハタメ平原のフューリーを奪うつもりのようです。
そうか。フューリーは全てドルファのものだ。
Because I say so.
Basically.
連れて向かってくれるか。
Yeah, and that's the end of the scene. There you go, too. Anagata will stop existing after this, but not at this point now. He will. I'm not kidding. He will not show up ever after this at all, regardless of which route you
Aside
take.
from one other point you said, apparently.
No. After that cutscene, Jova, Anagata disappears mysteriously from the game. I'm not kidding. Like, the game just forgets he exists, even. It's all Bernard from this point on. Bernard now is the primary antagonist now.
I was checking again just as a refresher. Apparently, that's what happens also in the Valgard route.
Well, okay, to be fair, Hanagata, like, gets done away with multiple different
Okay,
ways.
we have a crap
Okay.
ton of character episodes to watch.
Alright then, let's get to it.
Well, okay then.
Alright. Our present. Let me see if this one is voiced or not. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's voiced.
Okay.
Oh no.
Be strong, Tio. Just because the music is there doesn't mean the
It's
scene
like a
has to be
Pavlovian
there.
reaction. Like,
Which, to be fair, I cannot blame you. Because,
PTSD.
I mean, I just don't get why they overuse that music. Oh, it's like, both this and, well... Actually, I think this might have... Actually, no, yeah, like Pedro mentioned during our relook at it, this game, well... Advent Dark Force. God, it feels so weird how specific I have to be with this stuff, but Advent Dark Force's problem was that it really acted like it had like only 2 or 3 tracks when
Yeah.
it did have more, but
For whatever reason, the sound director of that game loved that track way too much.
どっちがとは言わず、どんな子がタイプや。
type.
ないよりはある方がいい。わかるで。だが性格はいいやつが。とことも上から目線もお断りだ。
oh my, he actually cares about a personality.
He does, but I don't. But he still phrases it in a very fangish way. No nagging.
あとワイのギャグで笑う。
Yeah, oh, I get the feeling that at this point, it's just a scene where even when he means well, he just constantly puts his foot in his mouth.
Again, in general, even the original game made a point that Fag is supposed to be an idiot at best. Sure, I guess he has the heart in the right place at the very end when it comes to, you know, achieving a goal for the greater good, but that doesn't mean that he's smart or, you know, or a lawful good type of person.
Eyes.
My vision is impaired, I cannot see.
部屋から話し声がしたものでつい
What, were they in the closet together?
No, they were just with the lights out.
Oh my god, what plot twist that
Phoenix was
was
thinking, yes,
Golda was actually Davros.
sure.
全然悪いと思ってねえだろ。ちょうどええ。オールハンも一緒に話していいかい
Again, I'm liking Al so far. He's just that mix of good guy but smart aleck.
この流れでそうはならねえだろ。てか、俺にツッコミ入れて
Nerd!
恋バナや恋バナ。男子のピュアな恋バナなんて修学旅行みたいで可愛いやろ。
Huh.
なるほど
Guys being dudes, aren't those kind of synonyms?
話ですかそれはそれは
Boys will be boys.
まあ、
And Ali's like, the innocence of the youth. I guess because being fair, he's supposed to be very old.
めっちゃ可愛いよな。今までモテてたんやないの。
Is she? I don't recall us establishing idols were a thing in this universe.
なんだ。意味深な言い方しやがって。
Unless by popular, you're going by the Sailor Moon verse of she's very talented.
僕ですか
あんなナイスバディで可愛い姉ちゃんと。
Nice body.
変な気起こさんかったんか。
English.
フルールは娘のようなものですからねそう
Ah.
娘もったいない。
またまた大げさな
まあ考えてもみりゃ
That be a legend. Don't ship automatically two people
Wait,
because they're
not
traveling
a-
together.
How do you know that? Like, we never heard him say that up until this point. He said, "Oh, now that you mention it, Al, you've been known her since she was a little." Wait, when did that get established?
We're in their character presentation, I think in the previous part.
Ah, okay. I missed it.
それと一つ付け加えておきますが、
Oh.
万が一にでもフルールに手を出して
Yeah,
黙っておきます。
fair enough.
Jesus.
Again, it's the 10 things you should know before dating my daughter.
僕はこの辺で失礼します。
Well, somehow we'll have to win his favor since Fleur is apparently one of the romance options.
今オールの目笑ってなかったよ
So behave, Fang. I know it's a bit hard for you, but do it.
Wow, someone who actually put Fang in his place. Again, I like Al so far.
あの人が一番の障害なんかもしれんな。
And keep in mind, when I say I like Al, I do mean by the standards of this game.
Sure, I understand. I guess we'll continue then. Our past.
Our past.
Let me see how this one is.
こっちこっちこっちこっち。
Okay, it's weird. I think we've only had like.
おいガルド
Okay, so
Fang
far the
this kid was the only one not voiced.
yeah, like so far the majority of the skits have been voiced to the point where I'm honestly surprised that the few that weren't voiced weren't also voiced.
I actually recorded a part today that had a good, like 2 skits in a row that were not voiced.
自慢にはなんねえけどな
It seems random, like it seems like they handpicked which specific ones to voice.
Because it's not even, it doesn't even seem to be a matter of like what's the most important or most serious. It really does seem like it's been random so far.
数えてたらどうだ
それはもうやった。
やったのかよ
500匹超えたあたりで、これ同じアリを何遍もカウントしとるんやないかって気づいてやめたわ。
Wah wah.
What a pain.
なんだなこの俺様がツッコミ入れちまうなんて相当だぞ
なあ旦那。
I guess that this is continuing the stereotype of Galdo representing the country bumpkin kind type of guy.
Yeah.
作るんやで。同じ穴を掘るもんとして尊敬するで。むしろ穴を掘るっちゅう点では。
Maybe we're not so different, you and I.
Please, we already have enough people in this franchise that don't compare themselves to insects.
Oh, there you go too.
Maybe it's foreshadowing.
なんか思考がおかしな方に行ってんぞ
Yeah, let's save that for when Noe joins.
I forget, did Noe ever say which type of insect he wanted to be?
Yes, a beetle.
だから埋まってへんかな。
また一気に飛躍したな
It's weird how Noe could have a design so cool, but have a character so stupid.
Yeah.
No, but it's a
Original Broly
consistent. It's a consistent thing in the media industry. Good, great character designs being wasted.
俺も見たことある
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, OG Broly jokes put here.
わからへんからこそ探すんやろ。いやーロマンやで。お宝見つけて大儲け。うまい飯に豪華な生活。考えただけでよだれが出てきそう。
I don't particularly care. I don't find this conversation particularly compelling. This is one of those things where I just start to get bored.
I'm fine with this, honestly. It's a nice little side character about here that builds up the characters of these two. Like, it's not doing anything wrong.
金は好きや。あるならあっただけ嬉しいで。ワイの生まれはめっちゃ貧しいところでな。
The problem is that the skit goes on for quite...
Oh, I see. I think some of this stuff is recap stuff since I think I recall this being mentioned proper in the actual main story of Advent Dark Forest, but you know, since again we skipped over a lot of that stuff, I guess this is there out for just in case someone flim flam brand new comes in with this game. And to be fair, I can't blame newcomers for buying this game thinking that it was going to be Fairy Fence Ref, but a different story.
Actually, Pedro, have you mentioned, or because I don't remember even if you told me, but have you mentioned if this game got a physical release or not?
Yes, it did.
Okay, then.
Oh wow! I'm actually surprised.
Idea Factory.
Appreciate that.
Idea Factory International partnered with a UK company called Reef Entertainment, and they're the ones who publish Idea Factory's games in Europe now. Both digitally. They're a company that only does publishing. Basically, they have a lot of partners that basically they're a UK publisher, and a lot of American and Japanese publishers have partnerships with them for them to help them publish their games in Europe. Basically,
It's kind of similar to what 505 Games and Focus Home Entertainment do.
Yeah. More
I
recently,
remember
there's
where
stuff
I've
like
heard them.
Terminator
They
Resistance.
published the Rambo game and Terminator Resistance.
Yeah.
Yet they also published the RoboCop game then, same developers.
Yep.
I don't think so. Let me check.
see, my problem with a character episode like this is that it goes on for
It was actually a company called Nacom.
Okay.
it goes on for longer than it needs to. Okay, I get it. They like digging treasure and shit, but the problem is the skit goes on and on and on. Like it doesn't need to be on this long. I get the point. Like, can we move on, maybe? Thank you.
What you can extrapolate from this is that, Galdo is a simple person, he enjoys, despite Joe material being, he's still a good person at the core.
I would be more okay with these if the skits were more streamlined and to mention my favorite Shakespeare quote, brevity is the soul of wit. Like, don't have these things go on for longer than they need to.
My take is that, that skit is... Well, I feel like that was info we learned in the main plot originally, but here, again, this is for, in case you didn't remember the
Oh, this bit
character
here. Okay, go ahead, Jova.
Again, I'm fine with it. I do agree it dragged on a bit.
No, I mean, okay. We're always together in both good times and bad, from good morning to good night. It's made me very happy. I wanted to be with you always, but now I realize that can't be. What? Go ahead.
What? What do you mean?
I think it may be time for us to rethink our relationship. I don't mean it like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. I don't mean it like that. Go ahead, Joe, please.
Yikes! Talk about an awkward scene to stumble on.
I know, right?
Don't say.
Why do I have to sneak around and hide too?
It's our house, technically. But in.
We can't miss this. It's like our own private soap opera, unfolding before our very eyes.
Okay,
Soap operas are a thing here.
So apparently soap operas exist, which implies that TVs exist in this universe, even though we never see any.
Just like in Time and Eternity.
It's like the people who wrote this game are just writing whatever comes up to their mind without actually thinking about universe consistency or something. Go on.
Hey, you're peeping too.
I most certainly am not. I'm merely trying to understand the relationship among our party. Don't liken me to some peeping little fairy. Maybe among us.
Your logic is incredibly bad.
What'd you just say?
Bitch.
You guys are so loud. Keep it down, will ya?
Says Fang.
Listen to me, Galdykins. I have something very harsh to say to you.
I never liked your sandwiches.
For now, actually, I'm the one who makes the sandwiches here. For now on, you're on your own. I'm casting you out.
What?
You're leaving the nest. What? That's the first time we've had a free person line in this franchise. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Galdykins. This is hard for me too, but it's for your own good. If you can't even take care of yourself, how will you ever learn to stand on your own 2 feet?
But you're his fairy. He kinda needs you as a fencer. Why? Isn't this a little sudden?
Maybe for you, but I've been thinking about this for some time. I've often wondered, what would he do without me? Well, actually, Marissa, like Jova just said, you guys are tied together for the rest of your lives at this point, so he can't do anything without you. He has to be with you at all times. Looking at Fang makes me feel even worse. He's the same age as you Kids, and he's a fine, independent young... Is he?
Absolutely not.
You guys hear that? You guys hear that? Fine and independent. Whips.
Marissa's definition of fine and independent may be way too lenient.
Agreed.
On this, we agree.
Cynical bats.
I am not old, but please pamper me with more insults.
Go ahead.
Who's gonna clean out my earwax? Who's gonna clip my nails? Are you saying I gotta do it all myself, eh?
Goldo's Canadian.
That was the deal in
the original game. I'm guessing he has either the Osaka or the Kansai accent. So my guess is the locals thought, let's give him a Canadian accent. Why not? Basically.
And for what we've seen in the subtitles, they do still keep in a lot of his mannerisms.
That's what they usually do. They usually give Osaka/Kansai characters. Usually they give them some kind of funny English accent. Usually a British one.
They sometimes go with British or Southern, or I guess in Galdo's case, Canadian.
Drippy's Japanese voiced Wibs is both Drippy and Lofty are Osaka accent characters. All the fairies are. Yeah.
A lot of heart in Ace Attorney is from Osaka in the Japanese version.
There you go, then. Yeah.
Later Southern.
That's usually what localizers do. The idea is to get an English equivalent of that accent, basically.
She's been cleaning his ears and clipping his nails. I must say that's a little bit revolting. If I recall correctly in, oh god, what's the name of that anime? The famous one with all the girls. I think it's...
Does that be a little bit revolting?
100 Girlfriends?
No. Way older. Girls, pink uniforms. One of them's named Osaka. I think in the English dub she's given a southern accent too.
Jova, you're using very generic terms.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sorry.
I've seen it before, and I know its name, I'm just not recalling it at the moment.
Well, whatever. For now, let's just...
Right. I'll find a way to take care of myself. I'll put your ears to rest. Just you watch. And I'm gonna start by cleaning out my own ears.
Hooray.
Go get him, Galdikins. I'll be rooting for you. And by the way, this whole thing of Galdo taking care of himself and not having Marissa do anything, this now stops, and everything up after this will narrow up again, and Marissa will continue to pamper him in the rest of the game. So that skit goes absolutely nowhere. Classic reference, Ref.
Wait. I remember the name of the anime now. It was Azumanga Daioh.
Oh, Azumanga Daioh. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. If I recall correctly, the character Osaka has a southern accent in the dub.
Oh, I haven't listened to that.
Which is funny, because I think she's the one who has the line, "An American! There's an American among us!" She says with a southern accent. Love the irony there.
Alright, then.
So yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That skit was just like one of those things where it's just like, okay, if the rest of the game doesn't reflect what I just read, what was the point of that skit? That's the thing. And this is the problem in the original game too, where the skits feel like they were written by someone who didn't know what the main plot was. And yeah, this was. And it's one of those things where it's just like it feels like lip service. Like if the game itself will not commit to what I just saw in that skit, what's the point? Why did you even waste my time with that skit if it goes nowhere? Like, it's just like, I'm sorry, I would like for these things to actually lead to somewhere, you know. When I finish a side quest in Ni no Kuni 2, I get to see that citizen in my kingdom going around doing his shit. There's an actual impact that I see, you know.
I think this is more comparable to a Tales of skit, like the one about teaching about bazongas.
Well, yeah, but those skits are actually funny.
Well, I guess the thought process is the same.
Yeah, I get you. It's just at least the skits in Tales of are shorter. Like,
okay, again, my take so far with the skits is like, again, for the most part, they've been fine. I'll admit, some do drag out a bit. But when it comes to the longest ones, so far, again, my observation is this is the game's way of covering its ass for, having to skip over a good chunk of the original game and help us get to know some of the main characters of the roster.
Mm-hmm. Which again emphasizes my point in Jovas that they should have just done their own self-contained OG story, Do Not Steal, instead of this awkward middle ground that they're trying to achieve here. That doesn't.
Yeah,
Go on.
You know what this feels like? This feels like, again, from what you told me, there are basically 2 routes in this game.
Yes.
This feels like as if 2 routes from the original game were cut and repackaged into their own game, essentially. Because if this had just been its own thing, we could have established Glace from the start of what was the original plot earlier, but because we wanted to have a certain formula along similar to the original game's plot-wise, we had to essentially speed things up because, well, again, I'm assuming they didn't have enough time, or otherwise it would have just been a retread of what we did to get to this point in the story as in the original game.
Yeah.
Alright,
Which
so,
is, of course, why we have a completely different gameplay style, but we've already beaten that horse to death.
Alright, everybody, see you for the next part where we continue the character episodes. See you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.